What if the thing everyone said could break you was actually the thing that made you extraordinary? A young man makes a bet. He will stay alone, completely alone, for 15 years. No people, no conversation, no freedom, just books and silence and time. Everyone at the table laughed. Everyone said he would break. Everyone said he would give up long before 15 years were done. They were wrong. This is one of the most powerful short stories ever written, and today I'm going to tell it to you in slow, clear, simple English so you can follow every single word. I'm Tony from Fluent English Cafe. This is the podcast where you grow your English by listening to real stories, real conversations, and real language used naturally, the way people actually speak. By the end of this episode, you will have heard over 1,000 words of natural English. You will have understood a complete story. And that confidence, the confidence of finishing something in English and understanding it, that feeling stays with you. If you want to feel that every week, subscribe to Fluent English Cafe right now. Every episode is designed to help you understand more, speak more confidently, and feel better about your English. That is the promise. Hit subscribe and we will keep it. Let's begin. The story is called The Bet. It was written by Anton Chekhov, a Russian writer more than 100 years ago. But the questions it asks, they are as alive today as they were then. It begins at a party. A rich banker is having dinner with his guests. They are talking, drinking wine, having a good time. And then someone brings up a dark topic, the death penalty. Is it right or wrong to take a human life as punishment for a crime? The banker has a strong opinion. He says death is better than life in prison. Death is fast. Death is over quickly. But life in prison, that is slow torture. That is crueler. That is worse. A young lawyer at the table disagrees. He is young, maybe 25 years old, smart, confident, full of energy. He says, I disagree completely. Any life is better than no life, even a life in prison, even a life in a cage. Life always has value. Life is always worth living. The banker gets angry. He slams his hand on the table. Fine, he says. If you believe that so much, prove it. I will give you 2 million rubles. 2 million, a fortune. More money than most people will ever see in their lives. But you must do this. You must live alone for 15 years. Not in a prison, in a small house in my garden. You can have books, you can have music, you can have anything you want to read or study, but no people, no conversation, no freedom to leave. 15 years. Alone. The young lawyer doesn't hesitate. He looks at the banker and he says, I accept. Everyone at the table goes quiet. They think the young man is crazy. 15 years alone? That will destroy him. That will break his mind. He will give up in months, maybe weeks. The bet is made. The young lawyer moves into the small house in the banker's garden. The door is locked and the 15 years begin. The first year is hard, very hard. The lawyer is lonely. He is restless. He can't sleep. He paces the floor at night. He plays piano. The sounds come through the window, sad and strange, late into the night. He writes letters to the banker, asking for wine, for tobacco, for things to pass the time. He is bored. He is suffering. He is not okay. But he doesn't give up. In the second year, the music stops. He asks for books, only books. He reads everything, novels, poetry, philosophy, science. He reads for days without stopping. He reads like a man dying of thirst, and books are water. The years pass. By the 6th year, he is studying languages. He learns 6 languages. 6. He He reads books in their original language, French, German, Latin, Greek. By the 10th year, he sits quietly at his table and reads only the Bible. For a whole year, only the Bible. The banker's servants watch him through the small window. His face is calm, his eyes are still. He looks like a different person from the restless young man who first walked through that door. Then history, philosophy, science again, mathematics. He reads everything the human mind has ever thought or discovered or created. He drinks it all in. He never stops learning. 15 years, almost done. Before we continue, I want to ask you something simple. Comment below right now, one word. How do you think the lawyer feels after 15 years alone? Happy? Angry? Peaceful? Sad? Just one word in the comments. There's no wrong answer. I want to know what you think. The letter says this: "Tomorrow I will have my freedom. I will walk out of this house. I will have the 2 million rubles. I have earned them with 15 years of my life. But I am writing to tell you something. I will not take the money. I do not want it. I used to believe that life was the most valuable thing. Any life, even a life in a cage. I believed that as a young man at your dinner table. I was so sure of myself, so confident, so proud. But I have spent 15 years reading everything that human beings have ever written, everything they have ever thought, everything they have ever believed. And I have learned something that has changed me completely. Money is nothing. Freedom, the kind of freedom most people chase, is nothing. Fame is nothing. Power is nothing. All the things that people fight for, sacrifice for, destroy each other for, they are shadows. They are smoke. They disappear. I have lived more in this small room than most people live in 100 years outside of it. I have walked with the philosophers of ancient Greece. I have thought the thoughts of the greatest minds in history. I have understood things that men with money and power and freedom never stop long enough to understand. And so I do not want your 2 million rubles. I am giving them up freely. Not because I have to, because I choose to. I will leave this house 5 hours before the 15 years are complete. That way, the terms of the bet are broken by me, not by you. The money stays with you, and I walk away free, truly free. You gave me a cage. I turned it into a library. I turned it into a university. I turned it into a life. You thought you were punishing me. You were not. The banker stands there in the dark, holding the letter. His hands are shaking. He feels many things. Relief, yes, because he will not have to pay, but more than that, something else, something harder to name. He feels ashamed. This young man, this man he once thought was foolish, crazy, destined to break, had not broken. He had become something extraordinary. While the banker had been losing his money, his health, his peace of mind, the lawyer had been reading, learning, growing, becoming more than he had ever been before. The banker puts the letter back on the table. He walks back to his house. He goes to bed, but he does not sleep. In the morning, 5 hours before the 15 years end, the guards report that the lawyer has gone. He climbed out of a small window in the night. He walked into the world. He left the money behind. He was never seen again. That was The Bet, written by Anton Chekhov. On the surface, it is a simple story. A bet between a banker and a lawyer. A man who lives alone for 15 years. A letter that changes everything. But it is about so much more than that. It is about what we believe in and whether we have the courage to live by those beliefs when everything is hard, when everyone thinks we're wrong, when the world is against us. The young lawyer was laughed at. He was thought of as reckless, as crazy, as a young man with too much confidence and not enough sense. Nobody believed in what he was doing. Nobody thought he would survive it. But he didn't do it for them. He did it for himself. He believed something, and he proved it. Not to the banker, not to the guests at that dinner party, to himself. And that is the most important thing. The most important audience you will ever have is yourself. Maybe right now you are trying to do something that other people don't understand. Maybe you are learning English and people around you wonder why. Maybe you have a dream that nobody else can see yet. Maybe you feel alone in what you believe. Be like the young lawyer. Turn the cage into a library. Use the hard time. Use the quiet. Use the doubt of others as fuel. Because the person who believes in themselves, quietly, consistently, without needing anyone else's approval, that person becomes extraordinary. And when the door finally opens, and it will open, the world will see what you built in the silence. Hemingway wrote in short sentences, simple words. Chekhov did the same, and both of them won the highest prizes in the world for their writing. Because great stories don't need complicated language. They need truth. They need honesty. They need a beating heart at the center. This story has all of that. Now I want to ask you something. What are you doing right now that other people don't understand? What are you building in the quiet? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to hear your story. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Fluent English Cafe. Every week, we bring you a new story in simple English, told slowly and clearly, so your listening gets stronger and your confidence grows with every episode. I'm Tony. Keep believing in yourself. Keep going. I'll see you in the next one.